afternoon, everyone. It's been thanks to Gurtam for putting together this event where there's such a big gathering of like-minded people where we have to spend the last these few days sharing and learning from each other. Today I'm going to talk about what our company does and how we have worked with Gurtam. We've been a Gurtam partner for slightly over a year. Before that, we were doing a lot of projects using a custom open source platform called OpenGTS. And we started projects building our own custom software. We spent a lot of time building it. And I think in the past year, we have started to realize that let's leave the platform or the telematics platform to the experts. Let us focus on our business and let them, where they have the developers, they eat, they sleep, they live by the platform, let them do the best. And I think, that's a decision that we have taken, to use a platform like Gurtam was providing instead of building our own. A little background about myself and the company. I was formerly from a division of Lockheed Martin, where we supported the US military logistics. And our company was, most famous for electronic cargo tracking system. We started, sometime after 9/11. At that time, the US Customs was paranoid. They were worried about the millions of containers going into the US, where they only able to inspect 2% of the containers. And they were worried about, terrorist attacks or putting dirty bombs and shipping into the US. So what started at that time was a program called Smart and Secure Trade Lanes, where they wanted to secure the containers at the source. And if we are able to prove or to show that nothing has gone in or out of the container, then it's granted fast lane, green lane status. If there is any reason to suspect that this container has been tampered with, through the physical seals or through business rules, it will then be put aside. Now, that was back in 2002. And since then, myself and my co-founders has left Lockheed Martin. We set up our own company, headquarters in Singapore. And one of our major breakthrough, in the electronic cargo tracking came in Africa. That was in the year 2010. I spent probably about 6 months to a year in Kenya. I was in Mombasa, and at that time, they were trying to solve an issue of in-transit containers going in from Kenya and Tanzania into Uganda and the whole East African regions. It was a program called ECTS, Electronic Cargo Tracking System. And today, I'm proud to say that we are now one of the preferred solutions provider for Kenya, for Tanzania, for Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines. And that is what we've been well known for providing. So today I represent two companies, Ascent Solutions, which is an IoT solutions provider, and Borderless Hub, which is a connectivity service provider. This is something that Huawei, marketing slides, the growth of IoT, devices connected, you'll go from 400 million to 3 billion, by the year 2020. The issues that we're trying to resolve, in the area of, for the customs, for the ports, we're talking about tax evasion. That's number one issue in Kenya and Tanzania. They were losing lots of revenue because people are taking advantage of in a landlocked countries, which happens that Belarus is one. When you declare as an in-transit goods, the ones with the ports are, should allow you free passage without taxes. But people exploit that loophole, declare that they're going to Uganda, and what happens? The goods comes out in Kenya for local consumption. The revenue authorities were then losing a lot of revenue, and they implemented a lot of different measures to try to stop this. And in the past, before we had this program, a container going into Uganda or the region takes 20 days. Today, it takes 2 days. Other issues is, cargo theft, bribery, and port congestion, which I will talk about. So, when we provided a solution, it combines different levels. The hardware is just one aspect. It just provides the physical security, whether it's locked or unlocked. But we built an end-to-end solution where we not only detect the physical status of the electronic lock, but also the physical movement of the lock of the device, combined with documentations like your import-export documents, your manifests, and then apply business rules. And this business rule has nothing to do with the physical security of the device. It includes excessive dwell time, deviation from route, and some other confidential information that I'm not allowed to share that, what the customs will apply to determine that they have reason to suspect that this container is suspicious. And then what we do is that we take all this information and we blockchain it. So we have a distributed, ledger at the top, and for those that knows what blockchain does, it basically creates in a distributed ledger that every single transaction cannot be modified, and we can verify that it's authentic and it's secure. So all this is the 5 levels of the platform or the solutions that we provide. And of course, you see that we have the electronic seals, we have the platform and the communications and everything as a whole. This is a different from the Kenya. What we tried to solve was for Indonesia. The port of Tanjung Priok in Jakarta was over congested. It used to have trucks going into the port for customs inspection, quarantine, and all that. Now, a lot of countries has this issue. The port is built around the city. There is no room to grow. What we basically then do is to then propose to the customs authorities to take the customs inspection and quarantine 80 kilometers outside of Jakarta. And it's in a place called Cikarang Dry Port. Now, once we do that, how do we then secure the containers that has been already inspected going to the port, or from the port before it gets inspected? That becomes a secure corridor. And we apply the cargo security to this to monitor, again, the same thing, and we're helping countries that has got congested ports, like Vietnam and Indonesia and the Philippines, to solve this issue. This is the Kenya Revenue Authorities, where we track, we have about 10,000 devices over there, and they track everything that is going in from Mombasa all the way into Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, DRC, South Sudan, and the region. I think the Africans will know this, this region better than I do. And what we do is that we track everything from containers to cars. Africa imports a lot of used cars, bulk liquid containers, rail, and things like that. Right? The other thing that we do is in Thailand. In Thailand, there are free trade zones. Western Digital operates, a manufacturing facility over there. We combine the free trade zones and provide a secure by combining all the free trade zones together. This is something that we use, or we started to use the BLE technology combining with fleet management to provide temperature, humidity, electronic lock security on the truck, and we also provide indoor location. This is something that we do in the airport, and this was 10 years in the making. We used to have RFID readers and things like that. They said you can't put readers. We have to then implement a solution for using a mobile phone with Bluetooth, light energy, BLE tags to provide visibility. Same thing in the hangar. We use BLE tags to provide indoor visibility. Some of the IoT sensors that they're working with, we work with many hardware manufacturers. We don't build our hardware manufacturers. We provide, we work with them. We modify the firmware, and we provide the communications for automated meter reading, aquaculture sensors, lift monitoring, smart lock, even like smoke detectors, vending machines. This is the lift monitoring device that we do. Our device provides non-intrusive sensors for the lift, and we are able to measure the speed of the lift, we'll measure the, how the door is closing, how close it is to the landing. All this is for machine learning, and then with preventive maintenance. Right.
Greg,
now,
I know you're about to finish.
Yeah.
We need to stick to the schedule.
All right.
Thank you.
So now, one of the things that how we build, our products around Wialon is the sensor meter. A lot of the temperature humidity is built with this platform. And one of the things that we're now exploring is to take all the sensors into flespi, and using flespi as a platform, we apply the business logic and then feed using the APIs into back into Wialon. For example, why have vending machines? We're doing field servicing. This provides me inventory. We collect the information. We use Wialon logistics. We use the applications to then do route planning and optimization. The last part of it is that we provide IoT connectivity, and something that we do is called USSD. USSD is a technology that has been around for a long time, but a lot of people don't use it. What is the advantage of USSD? It's low power, it works everywhere, there's no roaming charges, and it's very, very fast. So things like that we're connecting using USSD code, and USSD is really suitable for small amount of packages sending infrequently. It is something comparable to LP-WAN technology like Sigfox or LoRaWAN. The difference is you have GSM connectivity everywhere, whereas Sigfox or LoRaWAN is still subject to certain availability in certain countries, and it roams. So some of the things that we provide over using our IoT connectivity. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed my presentation.